Jungkook stood there at the kitchen doorway, his chest rising and falling heavily. The bruise on his cheek from the last week was fading, but the one on his heart still ached. "JK, I can't do this anymore," he said, voice shaking but steady. "For 2 years I kept telling myself you will change, that the good days were worth the bad, but I am done lying to myself." Thanks to it, frozen in the middle of the living room, the words hitting hard. Then expected, "Taekook, please, I don't mean to. I was angry, I wasn't thinking." Jungkook let out a bitter laugh. "JK, you never thinking when you hurt me, and when you calm down you say you love me and promise not to do it again. How many times have I heard that? Tai, I mean it this time." Thanks stepped forward, but Jungkook stepped back. "I swear I will change. I love you more than anything, JK. You don't hurt the people you love like this." Jungkook whispered, "You never." Author's POV. Jungkook couldn't forgive Tai. He wasn't able to forget everything that Tai has did. Jungkook left. He packed a bag and went to stay with a friend, Yoongi. He didn't ask questions but offered quiet comfort. Jungkook started therapy there, something he would wanted to do for a long time but never had the space or safety for. Tai called, texted, showed up outside Jungkook's apartment once, drenched in rain, begging to just talk once, but Jungkook didn't let him. If Tai wanted a second chance, he had to prove it. Thang was alone now in their silent apartment, looked around at the broken dishes, holes in the walls, the emptiness where Jungkook's shoes were once. He was missing Jungkook so much. He started therapy, he joined anger management classes, he stopped drinking, started journalizing, wrote letters to Jungkook that he never sent, he wasn't allowed to. Jungkook had set a firm boundary, no contact unless I say so. 6 weeks later, Jungkook received a letter, not a text, not a voice message, but a handwritten envelope left at his therapist's office, a place Thang had asked permission to send it to. In the letter, Thang didn't beg, he didn't say "I love you." Instead, he wrote about the first time he scared Jungkook and ignored it. He wrote about the shame he now felt when he looked in the mirror. He wrote about how he no longer expected forgiveness but only hoped to be a better man, even if Jungkook never came back. Jungkook read the letter, then put it away. He didn't cry, not immediately, but that night under the safety of Yoongi's roof, he let the tears fall. He still loved Thang, but love wasn't enough, not without trust, not without safety, not without respect. Months passed. They met again in a park, not as a lover, but as two people with a past. Thang looked thinner, tired, but clearly was a softness in him Jungkook had never seen before. Not a weakness, but a surrender. "I didn't expect anything from you, but I want you to know I'm sorry, not because I lost you, but because of uneasy, but I did." JK, Jungkook nodded. "You hurt me in a way. I'm still unpacking. I don't know if I will ever come back. I don't know if I can. I hope you do, even if I'm not part of it." Jungkook didn't take him back that day. Maybe he would never, but Thang finally understood that love without respect is not love, it's possession, and Jungkook for the first time in a long time walked away feeling free. Jungkook had come a long way. He could sleep through the nights now without flinching at every sound. He had dyed his hair soft ash brown, a color Thang had never seen on him. He looked in a mirror and saw someone stronger, not someone broken, but someone rebuilding. Thang had respected his boundary. No surprise visit, no calls on, quiet updates lying through Yoongi once every month, short notes like still sober or finished anger management. One day Yoongi handed him a journal and said he wanted you to have this. Only if you're ready. Jungkook hesitated, then took it. Inside there were letters, hundreds of letters written from the first night Jungkook left. Every page was raw, honest, regretful, hopeful. JK read out, "I don't want to win him back. I just want to become the kind of man who could deserve him, even if I never hold him back." Jungkook's finger trembled. He wasn't ready to forgive, but maybe he was ready to talk. 2 weeks later, they met again, this time at the Hand River. Cold air brushed past them, but it didn't feel like winter anymore. Thang looked up at him from the bench and stood slowly. "You came," Jungkook nodded. "I read your journal." Thang breathed. "I meant every word." "I know," Jungkook said quietly. "You have changed." Thang didn't move closer. He didn't reach out. "I had to, for me, for you. For the version of us that used to be soft, but I ruin it." Jungkook's voice trembled. Why now? Why go through all this when you don't know when I would come back?" Thang looked at him, teary-eyed, because loving you was the only thing I ever did right, and I twisted it into something ugly. I looked in the mirror and couldn't stand who I would become. Who taught me that love wasn't safety? It isn't love, and I'm sorry. I'm so deeply, endlessly sorry. You don't have to forgive me, but I wanted you to know I never stopped loving you. I just finally learned how to do it right. Tears slipped from Jungkook's eyes, not just sadness but release. He stepped forward slowly. If I come back, it's not because I forget everything. It's because I see that you have changed and I want to believe in us, just not behold us something new. I will never be the old me again. But I heard tears rolling down his cheeks. Jungkook stepped back into their old apartment with a small overnight bag. The place looked different now. Repainted wall, no broken frames, no signs of anger that used to echo through the rooms. It smelled like lavender, not alcohol. The air felt lighter. Tai, are you sure you're comfortable? Tai asked softly, standing respectful few steps up behind. Jungkook turned to him and offered a small smile. It's just one night, let's take it slow. Tai nodded, heart pounding. Theon led Jungkook to the guest room. Jungkook lingered near the doorway. You're really not going to push me, not even to hold me. Theon shook his head, not until you asked me to. That made something inside Jungkook ache, not in pain but in comfort. The man who was once used to demand closeness was now learning how to wait. Jungkook toasted in bed, not because he was afraid, but because something was different, better, safer. He got up and padded barefoot down the hall. Theon was still waiting, awake, sitting on the couch, reading one of his self-help books. He looked up, surprised. Jungkook, he missed to call him that. Without saying a word, Jungkook walked over, sat beside him, and rested his head on Theon's shoulder. Theon didn't move, didn't even breathe too hard, just let Jungkook exist next to him. I miss this, Jungkook whispered. Thanks, shut his eyes. I miss you every day, but I won't take you for granted again. Jungkook looked up at him, his eyes were wet but calm. I can't promise everything will go back to how it was. I don't want it to, Theon replied. I want something better for both of us. And finally, Jungkook leaned in and pressed his forehead to Theon's. No kiss, no rush, just a closeness filled with forgiveness that had been earned. 1 month later, their love looked different now. Jungkook had his own space in this apartment, still a room just for himself. They cooked together, talked together, touched less often but with meaning. There were hard days but no raised voices, no slammed door, no presses, just efforts, patience, apologies that come with changed behavior. And with love, not the kind that burns fast and wild, but the kind that heals, the kind that lasts.